Hello guys and welcome back to Planet 40k Space Marines. I know it's been a while. I've been kind of focusing on the other channels, to be honest with you. Wasn't really feeling it at the time, but we are back. We're going to give this another go and we're going to be doing some more review videos for the Space Marines. So in today's video we're going to be talking about the Infernus squad. We're going to be going through the data card, going through the synergy and giving our Planet 40k rating at the end of the video. So if you are new around here and you do want me to do more of these reviews, let me know by giving me a like down below and subscribing to the channel. That way I know you guys want to see these reviews and I'll keep pumping them out. Let's get into this video though. The Infernus squad. 85 points for 5, 175 points for 10. You're either going to take 5 or 10 in the unit. And every model is equipped with the bolt pistol and the pyroblaster alongside their close combat weapon. So quite straightforward, quite standard there. Keywords are also very standard. They are infantry. They've got the grenades keyword, which will relate to a stratagem. In fact, let's talk about that now. For one command point, you can, in your shooting phase, one grenade unit that is not within engagement range and has not been selected to shoot this phase, can basically throw a grenade within 8 inches. You've got to have visibility. You roll 66. Every 4+ roll, enemy unit suffers a mortal wound. Now I don't believe that prevents you from actually firing with the unit, but you just got to make sure you're using this before you're actually being selected to shoot. Right, let's flip this card over and we're going to begin with the statistics. Now the statistics are pretty standard. They're box standard for Space Marines. Movement of 6 inches, toughness 4, 3+ armor save, 2 wounds, leadership 6+, and OC is only 1, but it's good enough, OC. And yeah, that is as easy as it comes. If you are new to the game, this is how you learn. It's such a nice straightforward data card in terms of their actual statistics. So let's move over to the weaponry, I suppose. The weaponry, we have got the bolt pistol, which is the pistol weapon. You can shoot that into engagement range. It's got 12 inches of range, attacks 1, ballistic 3+, strength 4, no AP, 1 damage. Now realistically you're not shooting this when you're not within engagement range because you've got the pyroblaster, which we're going to go over that in a moment. So you're only really using this within engagement range. I don't know why they bothered putting 12-inch range because you're never going to really fire with it because you can't fire it alongside the pyroblaster. So let's talk about the pyroblaster. That's the main reason for taking these guys. Pyroblaster, ignoring cover and a torrent. So ignores cover. There's quite a lot of cover in the game at the moment. It's very easy to get cover saves. So by ignoring that, that's pretty good. And the torrent means you don't need to roll to hit. It's an automatically hitting weapon. So 12-inch range again, so a very close range weapon. D6 attacks per model. So if you've got a unit of 10 of them, that's going to be on average 35 shots, or 35 hits in fact, because they auto hit. Strength 5, which is okay, it's not bad. No AP, 1 damage. I mean, we would like a bit of AP, but we can't have everything, right? I mean, there's other uses for this. I mean, if you go using the Overwatch stratagem, which we'll talk about that in a moment. The Overwatch stratagem, you normally need to roll a 6 to hit, an unmodified hit roll of a 6, but this thing automatically hits, so you're kind of skipping that roll. So in Overwatch, these guys are actually really good. But let's go back to some mathematics for the Pyroblaster. 10 man, as we mentioned, 35 shots on average, 35 hits on average. If you're firing at toughness 4, you're approximately getting around 23 wounds, pre-armor save that is. Of course, they've still got to make their armor save or in-run save, feel no pain saves. And because there's so many different armor saves in the 40k game, there's no point in me going through every single one of them, but 23 wounds pre-save. Toughness 5, you've got about 17.5 pre-save. Toughness 6 to toughness 9, you've got about 11.7 pre-save. And toughness 10 onwards, you've got 5.8 pre-save. Now if you're firing against, say, Terminators with the 2+ armor, you're not likely going to get many going through, whereas if you're going up against, an armor save of a 6+, then you're going to get more through. So it all depends on the faction you're going up against, really. Let's move over to the right hand side of the data card. We've got the faction ability of Oath of Moment. Now Oath of Moment is where you're going to be able to reroll all your hit rolls and reroll all your wound rolls against a specific enemy unit for your entire army. Now, are you going to kit this out specifically for your Infernus squad? Meh, I don't think so, because you're automatically hitting, so you don't get any rerolls to your hit rolls because you're already hitting. But the rerolls to the wound rolls can be beneficial, so you're not exactly going to be looking for your Infernus squad and going, right, what are they going to be firing at in this battle round? Because, yeah, you're basically missing out on the hit rolls there. They've got their ability, which is unique, called Purge the Foe. In your shooting phase, after this unit is shot, you can select one enemy infantry unit that was hit by one or more of these attacks made by your pyroblasters. That enemy unit must take a battle shock right there and then. It's a bit meh, to be honest with you. The only real benefit to doing this in our turn is to prevent them from using stratagems for the rest of the turn. Maybe in the fight phase they're going to be using stratagems, or maybe they've got some other defense mechanisms to be bringing back models and things like that, so you can turn that off if they're battle shocked. Also, potentially, if you're removing their objective control and your secondaries relate to taking an objective, maybe you've got no man's land, extend battle lines, maybe you've got attempting target as an example. If you turn off their OC, you're gaining the objectives, and that's in your turn. So that's the only real reason why battle shock is good in your turn, but as soon as their command phase comes around, it's basically resetting anyway. So it's a bit of a meh situational ability. So let's look at some synergy, starting off with some stratagems. We've already spoken about the grenade stratagem. I'll put it on the screen again for you in case you missed it at the start. You've then got the fire overwatch stratagem, which we briefly mentioned when talking about the weaponry. And you can do this in the movement phase or the charge phase, don't forget. So that's not bad. It's within 24-inch range, which is obviously you're not going to get 24-inch range. You've only got the 12-inch range, but I mean that's okay. And you're automatically hitting it. It's probably one of the better units to be doing Overwatch with. You've got Armour of Contempt, which is 1 CP in your opponent's shoot phase or any of the fight phases. Once your unit is a target of an enemy attack, you're basically going to worsen the AP of that attack by 1, which could be pretty crucial. So yeah, keep that one up your sleeve. You've then got Squad Tactics, which is another one from the Gladius Task Force. In your opponent's movement phase, just after an enemy unit ends a move, an advanced move or fallback move, you can get an infantry unit that is within 9 inches of that enemy unit that ended that move, and then we can actually make a normal move up to D6 inches. Now if we were in the tactical doctrine, we can actually just make a flat 6. We can just move flat 6 inches, and that could be towards an enemy. Maybe we want to line up our next shooting phase to be shooting, or maybe we're trying to get out of range for a charge. So there's all sorts of different things you can do with that. Next, you can look at some unit synergy. For example, if you've got a captain, Primaris captain with the rights of battle, once per battle round, you can select this unit with a stratagem for 0 command points, even if you've already used it that phase. Now, this has now been nerfed only recently with the MetaWatch balanced data slate thing. You can only do it with battle tactic stratagems now. So it is a bit of a nerf, but at least you've got some options, I suppose, so it's not as good as it used to be. You've then got options such as a Lieutenant, Primaris Lieutenant. Not so much for the tactical precision ability, because that's lethal hits and we don't need to roll to hit. So not for that, but the second ability, which is target priority, we're eligible to shoot and declare a charge in the turn that we fall back. So if we do get caught in engagement range, we can fall back and then we can still fire if we didn't feel like we wanted to be within that fight. I'd rather be firing with our pyroblasters than our pistols. We've then got a Primaris Librarian with 2 abilities here, the Psychic Hood for a 4+ fear no pain against psychic attacks, or the Mental Fortress ability for a 4+ invulnerable save if he's leading the unit. That's not bad. I mean, there's probably better units for him to go, to be honest with you, but this is one of them. It's got the option there. The Primaris Apothecary to be bringing 1 destroyed model back in your command phase. Cool. I mean, they're probably better on Hellblasters because they're going to be rolling those hazard tests. But again, you've got options. You've got the Bannerman, which is the Ancient with the Astartes banner. While this model is leading the unit, add 1 to the object control. They've only got OC1, you can put them to OC2, but again, you're probably better taking Intercessors at that point. But yeah, that's all the main synergy. There are a few other options that you could take, like the Judiciar, but that all relates to melee, so I'm not really going to discuss that kind of stuff. This is a shooty unit after all. Now let's move into the battlefield role. For you long-term viewers that were already on the channel before, this is actually a new segment to the video, so yeah, tell me what you think of this. Battlefield role, first of all, they're objective sitters. They're going to be sitting on an objective, waiting for your opponent to come in charging, because we've got the Overwatch stratagem up our sleeve. We've only got 12 inches of range as well, so we don't really want to be going too far with them. The second battlefield role is just moving up the board slowly. You're going to be trying to take ground control. Space Marines in general have a 6-inch infantry move, so it's one of them units that can go up and be okay going up. And of course, we've just kind of mentioned the Overwatch stratagem. That's one of the main features, I think, for a flamer type weapon. Now I want to talk about the secondary missions that relate to these models, these units. First of all, secondaries that are more in our half of the battlefield, such as defend stronghold. They can do that. They can just camp down on an objective, have the flamers ready, any Overwatch coming in, flame them up. You've got extend battle lines, so it's that objective as well as a no man's land objective. Again, they could be doing either of those. No man's land is purely the no man's land. I think you need 2 in that with that card. No prisoners to be able, you're taking a unit off the battlefield, they can do that, and engage in all fronts, they can participate in one of the quarters. Now they're not ideally going to be going after enemy strong posts, enemy strongholds, enemy outposts, attempting target. They're not really going to be going for those. They're not going to be going for bring it down. That's just not their game. Not even assassination really. You've got your eliminators and things like that, or characters with the epic challenge stratagem maybe. That's not their game. Their game is to bunker down on an objective, sit and wait, and chill. Let's look at the pros and cons for taking the Pyro Infernus, what they call Pyro Infernus squad. I was going to call them Pyro squad. The Infernus squad. What are the pros to taking them? First of all, the automatically hitting weapons, the Pyro Blasters. That's always a nice bonus, not having to roll for hitting. Having an auto hitting weapon is pretty good. They're ignoring cover as well. So basically your opponent is going to get a +1 to their armor save, which is nice. You're forcing battle shot, which is situational, but every now and then it does come up and it does make a bit of a difference. And index synergy, there's lots of character synergy, there's lots of stratagem synergy that relate to the unit. I mean, this is Space Marines, synergy sort of is everywhere, so they've got it. As for the cons, they're not fantastic in melee. They're just kind of bog standard Space Marines without all the chainsaws and stuff. They're just hitting with they're just headbutting at this point, aren't they? They've got no AP on the Pyro Blasters. Okay, you are ignoring cover, so you're kind of negating that, but it would be nice if it had like -1 AP or something, which it doesn't have. And there's just competition with similar units, and there's just loads of Space Marine infantry units in the Codex or the Index to be competing with. So let's get on with our Planet 40k racing today for the Infernus squad. I think they're just sort of okay. I mean, a lot of Space Marine units are just okay. Do they fulfill a role? Yeah, they do. They do. They've got the Overwatch, they've got the auto-hitting weapons. They can just be that unit that just sits on an objective and doesn't do much. That's cheaper than, Terminators and things like that. So yeah, for me, I'm just going to go with them straight down the middle, 3-star out of 5. So guys, you'll have to let me know in the comments down below, what would you give these guys and why? And do you see a use for them in comparison to other units in our index? But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.